Hi, I'm Joe from Scroll Innovations with another Night Power Sports product. This is the KEBC Delete with hole cover. Inside the box, you'll get some paperwork, the hole cover, which goes where you remove your electronic actuator, the wiring harness, and the belt switch bypass. Okay, so now we're going to start the installation process. First step is going to be taking some things off of your ATV. First, we can pop the seat off. That comes off with this lever here. Put that off to the side. Now we come over here. We're going to take the front rack off, remove the 4 screws that hold this on. And take the rack off. Remove these uprights that were underneath the rack. Next, we're going to remove this panel, unscrew this front screw here, and then there's one here and another one back here on the other side of the gauges. As you're removing this, your 12-volt outlet will be connected, so unplug this as you take this off, set this off to the side. Next, we'll remove the side holders. There are a bunch of screws that hold this in. Remove all of the screws that are holding this panel on. On this side, you will also have to remove the nut on your key. And on this side, you will have to open up the storage compartment, and there are a few screws inside here that you'll have to remove in order to get this panel to come off. Remove these two. Set them off to the side. Next, we are going to remove the screws that hold the footwell to the front fender and the side fender. So all of the screws here that hold it on to the front fender, along with these screws that hold the side fender to the front fender, along with back here, this one screw and this one screw, and it's identical on the other side also. Remove all of those pieces. So now we can take this fender off. It does go underneath your air box, so you may want to remove your air box if it's tight. Actually, that didn't help. You don't need to because it's underneath the side of it there. So you can leave this on. And then take this off. Oh, you do need to remove your shift knob in order to get the side fender to come out. This just unscrews. Pop this side fender off. And again, that's identical on the other side. Pop this side fender off. Now, underneath on some, you will have a fender like this. This is mounted. This is mounted on the inside here. When you removed the 2 screws that held the 2 fenders together, you will have removed them from here, and then it's held on with push fasteners up here, over here, and one down there. Remove those push fasteners and take this fender off, and this is on both sides. You'll have to do that. Once all of that is removed, we need to undo the headlight. One more step down here. There's a screw that holds the headlight in right here. Then you'll need to follow the wire from your headlight and disconnect it. Pop this connector out like that. And then there is a clip. Let me show you this clip. There's a clip like this that is in between your headlight and your front bumper right here. So you're going to need something like a long screwdriver is what I used to get in there. Get behind this clip and pry it out. Pop this clip off, and that'll be everything so that your headlight is no longer connected. So now everything is disconnected and we can remove the entire front fender here, right? So this one has a horn installed from our control switches box. That's what's getting snagged right there. Oh, I didn't disconnect the horn. Go. This headlight was still plugged in. Okay. All right, there we go. Now this fender's off. So now we have access to pretty much everything we need. Next, we're going to install the KEBC Delete wiring harness. This is your four-wheel drive control box. On 2010 and newer models, this is the location of it on the front end. 2009 and older, it's located underneath your seat. Watch our other installation video for that. So this just pulls up. The rubber here is just held on by those tabs. There's no clips or anything. Next, you're going to push down here and try to hold this entire part with your hand so you're not pulling on the wires. So I'm going to wiggle it like that and get that out. Now this yellow part that came, you can see started to come out, it's supposed to be in the wire harness side. Sometimes that yellow will end up in here. You would have to take it out and put it back in this side here like that. That's how this should look when you remove it. Now you could take the wire harness. You have to first remove this sticker. The sticker is on here to keep the metal tabs in during transit, but the sticker has to come off so that those three slots are exposed. Now you can take this side of the KEBC Delete wire harness and push it into your four-wheel drive control box. It is a very tight fit, but if you wiggle it back and forth, you'll get it all the way in and hear that clip, make that clip noise. On this side, you just simply push it in also until it goes all the way in and clips, just like that. Now you'll have to make a little bit of room as you're pushing it back in, but you should be able to get it all the way back and on the tabs, just like that. And that's what it'll look like. Take the relay and tuck this in somewhere. Use a zip tie, cable tie, something to hold it tight. And that's the wire harness installed. Next, we're going to install the hole cover kit and the belt switch bypass kit. First step is going to be with an 8mm to remove your KEBC actuator. It's held on with these three screws here. Once these three screws are loosened, you can pull your KEBC actuator off. I have to cut that zip tie. Okay. And here, you're going to disconnect your KEBC actuator, lift up on this tab here as you pull these two apart. Like that. This part stays on there, and definitely want to clean that up before we put the hole cover on. So we have this cleaned up. This plate stays on here, and there is a O-ring underneath this that didn't move, so I'm just leaving that on there. The fork that's inside the belt cover, on this vehicle there was nothing wrong with it, just the actuator was broken. So we're going to leave that in there. If there's any noise coming from inside here, you're going to want to take your whole belt housing off and remove that fork from the inside. For now we're good. So we are going to take the hole cover, the O-ring, and place this right on here. The supplied screws go in to hold this in. The button head screw comes with the kit, goes in this hole here. Okay, next we are going to install the belt switch bypass. This is your belt switch. Follow the wire that comes from it and disconnect the connector like this. Then take the belt switch bypass that came with your kit and unplug this side, plug this side into here, and plug this connector into here. Now you can take these, oh, we have one more for this. This also comes with your KEBC Delete Kit. Plug this connector into here. Now we can take these, use some wire ties, tie them up out of the way. Be careful not to get onto anything that's hot or moving. Putting the plastics on is just the reverse of what you did when you took them off. So first we're going to put this panel on. I have the horn on this, so I got to spread it a little bit. Goes behind the fender like this on both sides. Okay, you can line up these holes where your rack goes in order to make sure that everything's lined up properly. Make sure you put your key through here. It'll get more difficult to get to this as you put more plastics on. Okay, now everything looks lined up. So now we can put the side panels on next. So this one goes behind the footwell. There, over here, goes over your shifter and under your airbox. Okay. Okay. And then the side panel on the other side, same thing. Next, we're going to install these screws between these two fenders. One goes here, and the same on the other side. Now, we can install these plastics here. This one has the key, so be careful not to push it out. Like that. screw this cover on, this part on top of the switch. On the other side, the other plastic, we'll put this on now. And then we can install all the screws that hold both of these on all around, and don't forget the few inside this plastic. So put those in now. So you can get all the screws in on these black plastics up here, and you can start to put the screws in on the fenders, but don't put these two screws in yet between these two fenders, because those screws also hold this mudguard on. This goes back under here, and same on the other side with the other mudguard. This will go in this position right here. The two screws that go through the fender will hold it on there, and then the push rivets that you pulled out before will hold one spot in the bottom and two on top. Next, we can finish up under here. This connector goes to the horn that's connected to the smart control housing switch. The wire here from your headlight, I'm going to go over this bar, connect this back to where it was plugged in before. Has this little part here to secure the wire so it doesn't move around a lot. Then you have the clip and the screw. The clip goes on right here, just like that, and the screw goes in right here to the headlight. Do the same thing on the other side. Next, we'll install this panel. Be sure to reconnect your 12-volt outlet. Slide this over, and then install these three screws here, here, and here. Now we can put this on. You install this with 4 screws, front, 2 up here, and on the sides here. Screw that back in. We can put the shift knob on. This just screws in. Screw that all the way down. Like that. Now we can put the front rack on. The taller uprights go towards the front, the shorter ones towards the back. The longer screw will be used on the front and the shorter one on the back. Start the quad up. No more belt light. No more limp mode. Ready to go riding.